Hi there guys, Mr. We're back with another video, and today I want to give my review on Jurassic World Rebirth. I just watched it like a couple hours ago. I'm filming this Thursday of the first week of Phillies, whatever. But yeah, I think it was a really good movie. Start off without spoilers, I'll go into spoilers later. But starting off without spoilers, I think it was a really good movie. I think it was the best since the original, second best in the franchise. There's a lot of cool references and stuff and cool Easter eggs. There were flaws I had with the movie, but I'll get more so into them with spoilers, specifically with some of the dinosaurs and stuff. But I really liked the movie. I think that the plot was interesting and cool, and a good way to get characters on the island. And I think it had a lot of good references to the original, and was overall just a really good movie. Okay. Now I'm gonna get into spoilers because yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, I really like this movie. Obviously, and I think that I think that I like the approach that they went with the plot. I think it was really cool. A group of mercenaries go into the island to get like blood samples from the biggest land, water, and air dinosaurs, which is really cool. And also gave us more interesting dinosaurs, because usually we see the same dinosaurs, and I do have complaints with us not seeing as much of the same dinosaurs, like T-Rex, Velociraptors, the pterodons or whatever, pterodactyls, Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, those just mainly the same dinosaurs. But I think that this was interesting to give more, like the Titanosaurus, I think its name is. I think that was cool, and I really liked that moment because it was really cool. And I think that the actor who plays Henry Loomis here did a fantastic job. The performances weren't all that special, but I think his was amazing. I love every time he was seeing the dinosaurs, not like being shocked because he knew he was gonna see them, but just being so excited, like seeing them. It was really cool because it may have been his first time seeing them. Now the chances are he probably seen one or two in the public, or he maybe went to Jurassic World. He's a big dinosaur fan, so yeah. But like it was just really cool him just seeing the dinosaurs and being so excited. Like even the Mosasaurus, which is a predator and it's deadly, he was still just so excited to see it. Yeah. But yeah, I even like the moment of him petting the Titanosaurus. And yeah, it was interesting to get the Quetzalcoatlus, who was in Dominion. By the way, just general thoughts on the franchise. Love the first one, and all the sequels I like up until Dominion. Dominion is the only one I don't like because it was just disappointment. It promised dinosaurs in the real world, and then it just brought them to the island and focused on bugs instead. It was stupid. But I did like seeing the Quetzalcoatlus, who was in the last movie. But like it's used much better here. Seeing the Spinosaurus again, I think that was really cool. The Mosasaurus was also cool to see. Again, because and it was like it gave much more prominent roles to different dinosaurs, like Tyrannosaurus. I think it's his name. It was like kind of replacing the Brachiosaurus here. We don't see a Brachiosaurus, which I think is a break in the franchise. We also don't see a Triceratops, unless that baby dinosaur is a Triceratops. But I don't think it is. I don't even know what that baby dinosaur is that they have. But yeah, I think that the Quetzalcoatlus, we get to see the Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus. We get to see more interesting dinosaurs, which was better than just the more formulaic T-Rexes and Velociraptors. Even then, saying that, I am kind of disappointed with how much screen time the T-Rex had, and the fact that I don't think there was a raptor in this movie, because essentially the raptor. I think there was two raptors. Okay, actually no. I think it was either one or two raptors in this movie, and they were the ones sneaking up behind the boyfriend character who's dressed like Jeff Goldblum, which I think was a cool Easter egg because I like the fact that he was dressed like Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm for the original. He had the black dress shirt unbuttoned. He also even had the necklace He also had like the crystal necklace that Ian Malcolm had in the original, which I think was a really cool Easter egg. But the raptors are sneaking up on him, but then the merge between the pteranodons, I think. I forget the merge between the pteranodons and the raptors. that I think that honestly the genetically mutated dinosaurs, I really only like one of them in this movie. I think that it was kind of cool to see a Velociraptor plus the Pteranodons, but honestly I still think it was just like I like the D-Rex because I think it was cool to merge a Rancor with a T-Rex. Because that's what the information was: a Rancor from a Rancor from Star Wars plus a T-Rex. I think that was really cool. But yeah. Also, a thing I heard in the things and I didn't really understand too much, but it's 100% true in the movie is the scale of the dinosaurs. Yes, the scale directed by because Gareth Edwards directed this movie and he's really good at it. He directed Rogue One and Godzilla. I didn't like the Godzilla movie, but I really liked Rogue One. But yeah, like it is the scale is like it is really good in this movie. Like the D-Rex just chomp down on a helicopter. Oh, I really like that scene too where they thought that the helicopter was come back and then you just see the D-Rex is holding it in his mouth. That was cool. Yeah, the scale of the D-Rex to the humans, the scale of the Titanosaurus to the humans, I think this was really is really done well. So yeah, but yeah, back to my point about all the like the Velociraptors. It's classic to see him here, and instead like I think that those merged between Pteranodons and Velociraptors should have just been Velociraptors. And instead of them flying and they just jump up, they just like run in and then like they could still have the same sequence because they barely fly. Like they barely fly. All they do is swoop in through the fly. I'm pretty sure that in the original version of the movie they were supposed to be raptors, but then they decided to change it just for like more toys and stuff. Probably because like the thing is like there's a Lego set of the gas station scene and it doesn't have those things. It has raptors. So yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And yeah, the raptors were just overall yeah. Also, I don't like the fact that they used I don't know the name of this dinosaur, but the dinosaur that kills Dennis Nedry in the first movie, it spits out the venom. It also kills Dawson in Dominion. Like they put that in all the trailers, it shooting out its gill thing, and I don't even know where it goes. I forget where it goes in the movie. I think it just like kind of like runs away after that. Like they're so pointless. It's so weird. Also, like even like the thing with the spikes, the dinosaur with the spikes that the guy drives off. That was really unnecessary. Whatever. I think that, but like the Raptors were best in this movie. And the T-Rex, like, the T-Rex was in every trailer. It advertised the hell out of the T-Rex, and the T-Rex is in one sequence. And sure, it's a badass sequence, but I feel like you could essentially just completely remove that sequence from the movie, and the movie doesn't change. I know it's a really cool sequence. Don't get me wrong, I really like the sequence. It was really cool. T-Rex swim that did come from the novel, but just never made it into any of the movies. Because like that's the thing, like there used to, I remember when it was said that there was a scene from the novel that they never made on the big screen, but they always wanted to, and they never got to doing it, that they did in this movie. It was obviously T-Rex river scene, the T-Rex chasing the boat and swimming. But everybody thought that when it was announced, a bunch of people just thought it's a scene in the original novel where those baby, like, they're not baby raptors, but they're like mini dinosaurs who were in Jurassic Park 2. They killed the little girl at the start, and they killed the Russian guy later. They're really cool dinosaurs. But in the original novel, apparently, those eat a baby, so everybody thought that they were going to kill a baby in this movie, which is pretty funny. But yeah, you also like... But yeah, I do think that scene was really cool. I even like how the T-Rex was sleeping at first, and then it rolled over. Like, that was really cool, but I think I could have used for a little bit more T-Rex. I don't know, maybe the T-Rex should have came at the end, maybe fought off the D-Rex a little bit, and then probably ultimately killed the main bad guy, the main villain of the movie. Because usually it's not the big villain, usually the villain of the, dinosaur villain of the movie isn't the one to take out the human villain. It's usually another dinosaur. Like in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, that's the one that ate that. In Dominion, it's different. But I think that the T-Rex should have eaten him, and Because I was kind of disappointed with T-Rex. He didn't do much in this movie. He just did that one sequence, which it was a really cool sequence. But even then, also like there's also just plot holes in the movie. Like he chomped down on the boat, the rubber boat. It would have popped. It would have been useless of a boat, but somehow it was fine from T-Rex teeth. It also just happened to pop back up when they needed the boat. Like Jesus, like it was. There were some plot holes, but ultimately, yeah, it was a really good movie. Yeah, I think that we should have got more screen time for the T-Rex. I don't even think there's a pterodactyl, in the movie. I don't even think there's a pterodactyl in the movie, but I do like to focus on the Quetzalcoatlus. There's no Triceratops, no Brachiosaurus. There's just it's weird. But yeah, I still ultimately do like I do really like this movie still, but like there's and the D-Rex, I think a lot of people are complaining about its screen time, and like I think it had enough screen time because like the thing about the new big bad dinosaurs is that usually they get introduced later on in the movie, like with the Giganotosaurus. I think that's its name, and Dominion gets introduced later on. The Indoraptor gets introduced later on in the movie. But if you look back at the first three, T-Rex was there from the start of the original. It's someone would call it, it's like a big part of that movie. It's there throughout the entire movie. Same thing with the T-Rexes in The Lost World. Spinosaurus in 3 also fits that in the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World. That also fits that. So yeah, but like then yeah but yeah. I do think that this one is better because he did like get a lot of kills in it ultimately at the end, like with the helicopter scene that killing the big bad guy. Even though I still don't understand how the D-Rex why the D-Rex didn't kill Mahershala Ali Duncan, I think his name was. He was gonna play Blade, but yeah, I don't understand why he didn't kill Duncan there because like he had him cornered and it was a cop out because it was like he was screaming, he was roaring at him, and then it was like, oh yeah, then he shoots off a flare gun and he's holding the flare. It's like, oh, I'm fine. Why didn't the D-Rex kill you though? Why didn't it kill you? They never explained that. It's like he had him right there, and I guess he just like spared him or something. I don't know. It's just stupid. Like it makes no sense. But yeah. Also, I've seen a lot of people kind of like being like, what? The fact that they didn't kill off the D-Rex. But if you look back at the original 3, none of the big villains of any of those movies ever get killed. The T-Rex in the original Rexy, she survives the entire movie. The T-Rexes in The Lost World, they survive. And the Spinosaurus in 3, that survives too. So yeah. And obviously the Jurassic World trilogy, they killed off the main villain. They killed off the main dinosaur villain at the end, because they made them much worse. Like they made them much worse animals that couldn't even survive. Yeah. So yeah, like remember the Giganotosaurus or whatever. The director said that he was the Joker of dinosaurs, but he was like in the movie for like 2 minutes. So yeah, But yeah, I do like a lot of the Easter eggs. Like I said, I like him. I like the boyfriend character wearing Ian Malcolm's clothes from the original, like with the, whatever. I already explained that. I like the Dr. Alan Grant Easter egg. I think that he should just be the kid from the original. Okay, I think we gotta just do it. Like everybody thought when the trailers for Jurassic World came out, everybody thought that Chris Pratt's character, who was Owen Grady, was the kid from the original, which would have been a really cool origin story for him. But when I was watching this movie before, I heard there's a really cool Henry Loomis's character has a cool origin story that Jurassic Park fans will like, and like, yeah, that's cool. And I was like, he's a kid from the original, right? He's a kid, but I do like him training under Alan Grant. But I think it still would have been cool if he was a kid. Even how he owned the Museum of Fossils, like that was even cooler. Like he owns the Museum of Fossils. Alan Grant scared the hell out of him with that fossil thing, and yeah, I do think that kills could have been paced out better though. Like for example, the blonde guy who's in Deadpool, Francis from Deadpool, he instantly died. And also, like, you could tell who's gonna survive. It gives me Jurassic Park 3 vibes. And I really like Jurassic Park 3, which, yeah. Like, you could tell who's gonna die and who's gonna die quick. Because, you know, like, the guy who speaks French, the girl who's on the ship, and the blonde guy who's Francis from Deadpool. Nobody remembers their names. So, yeah, like, but, like, it was surprising that 2 of the kills, were given to the Spinosaurus, which is weird, because the kills aren't very paced out well, because look at the first scene with dinosaurs, with the first big scene with dinosaurs, Mosasaurus and Spinosaurus attack on their boat. 2 of the characters get killed, and then the next like really big action sequence with dinosaurs is the Quetzalcoatlus thing, and then the French guy gets killed there. So yeah, and then there is like a death of a guy in like a tree, which you don't see, but still. Also like at the start there's a kill, and then later on there's the helicopter guys who got eaten by the D-Rex, and then the villain of the movie. But yeah, also like the villain seemed kind of cartoonishly evil, and like believe me, the villains in the other movies are just worse people. But like it was so unnecessary why he was evil. Like he was like, first off, like you could have him alone be like he betrays them and drives off by himself at the end, and he's trying to only sell it to he's trying to sell the heart cure to only the super rich instead of just mass producing it for the world. But instead you have to have him look the girl in the eyes and be like, nah, I'm not gonna save you, for absolutely no reason. Like the reason, like the only reason that you could sort of understand from why he did that is that she was doing the whole Mayday on the boat thing. But at that point, if you save her life, first off, she's probably not gonna do it. Like most likely she isn't gonna do that. So there's no reason to let somebody die, risk getting yourself, risk having people on your team betray you, just because you're worried that she might do it. On the opposite end, well, because you just saved her life, so she's probably gonna make her phone go like fine, yeah. But, like it was weird. Also, I think that the family at the start was kind of whiny, like they're all like, just bring us home already. Like they saved your lives, and it's like they're on a mission. They went against a mission to save your life. Like it makes sense why they're not just bringing you home. It's like, can you just drop us off there? It's like a waste of fuel tank, it's gas, whatever. It takes longer and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah. Also, I do think that the family was just like the worst out of the 2 plots. I did still like him, but still ultimately I didn't really I still think that it was still kind of like weird. It was like I prefer the mercenary things, and the family was there just to have the child point of view throughout the movie. Because every Jurassic Park movie, you need the child point of view. In the originals, it was Tim and the other Mrs. I don't remember her name, but Tim and his sister. But yeah, and the sequels, in the second one, it was Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm's daughter. In the third movie, it was Eric. In Jurassic World, it was Claire's nephews. In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it was Macy, and that's the same thing for Dominion. Right? So yeah, you always need them, and in this movie, it's the kids in this. So yeah, that's really the only reason they're. That's the only reason I could think they're there, because yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, I do think that the D-Rex was still pretty cool of a dinosaur, because it was emerged. I like the fact that it was merged between a Rancor and a T-Rex. I even like how it had the big arms and legs of a Rancor, and then had the little bitsy tiny arms of a T-Rex. That was a cool detail, and yeah, I really like this design. But yeah, there were other things, like even the ending was very reminiscent of the first movie. Instead of them flying in a helicopter, first off, it's like the same piano keys of the Jurassic Park theme, and they're looking at each other the same way. And then even instead of birds, them seeing them in a helicopter, seeing birds fly by, instead they're on a boat, seeing the dolphins go by, because that was like set up earlier in the movie. And the missile was like, are they dolphins? But they're Spinosauruses, because you want to see dolphins in, yeah, which is pretty cool. But still, yeah. But yeah, I didn't love, also, in terms of sequel, I don't think they're gonna make a sequel to this. I think it's like a one-off movie, which I kind of want to add to the franchise now. I kind of just want make one-off movies and stuff. However, I could see if they want to make a sequel to this, like with the same characters and stuff. I could see them making another movie where potentially Henry Loomis could go back to the Ash. By the way, I don't know if it's an Easter egg or anything. It's probably not. But I just, anytime I hear Loomis, it's like I obviously think of both Loomis in Halloween and Billy Loomis in Scream. So yeah. But yeah. I think that they should make him just the kid from the original, because I think that would be cooler, and also it could still make sense. He could have still went through Alan Grant's fossilizing thing, which he did, and then he could still have done that and stuff. Also, plot hole here. They continuously say throughout this movie, this is the testing site for the original park, but it's not, because they abandoned it in 2011, right? Because this movie takes place in 2028, and it's 17 years later. They abandoned it in 2011 when the D-Rex kills a guy. So yeah, so it would have to be the testing site for Jurassic World, but then why is it InGen? InGen was bought by the Masrani Corporation for Jurassic World, so InGen wouldn't be experimenting for Jurassic World. That would be the Masrani Corporation, and also they have the colors of the original, not Jurassic World. Jurassic World has gray and blue. Jurassic Park has beige, red, green, and yellow, and they use those colors instead of the gray and blue. Also, I think even if you look at the side, I think it says Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World. So the whole timeline there was really confusing. And I would have before 30. But also, I do like us seeing a little bit more of the actual Jurassic World, because I know a lot of people were disappointed, like, oh my god, we set up for multiple movies. That's basically the entire reason Fallen Kingdom exists, just so dinosaurs could be led on the city. Then for Dominion, they bring them back to an island. They do this stupid bug plot. It's pointless. And then finally for the next movie, they say, oh yeah, dinosaurs can't survive in cities and stuff like that. So I do like seeing the oh yeah, they did have it. Story. I messed up there. They did have a Brachiosaurus in the movie. I forgot because he was in the start, which I did like seeing how even people were feeding on him, and it was cool. I did like seeing the Brachiosaurus there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I really like in this movie. But yeah, like I do think that the opening was pretty good. It's not like the best of the franchise. Like, that still goes to Fallen Kingdom. You say what you want about the movie. I like the movie, but whatever. It doesn't matter what you say about the movie, but ultimately, that intro is still awesome. But yeah, like, it's still I really like this movie. Second best since the best since the original, second best in the franchise, and yeah. I'm trying to think of other things. But yeah, I really did like this movie. Also, what I'm saying, I don't understand why there was a gas station there, right? Like, a gas station had, like, it was essentially just so they could, like, sneak in product placement. Like, I understand people lived here when they were doing that, but why would they then have a gas station where they would, like, it's like an actual gas station that would exist almost like if it was supposed to be a theme park. It was never supposed to be a theme park. Like, they even had the little gimmicks of, like, that guy being like, buy this candy. And it's like, what? Like, what the? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it was never supposed to be. It was always just supposed to be a research site. It was never actually supposed to be, a theme park. At least that's what we're left to assume. But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of weird. A thing. But yeah, ultimately, I did really like this movie, and it was really good too. Those were my thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth. I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and bye.